You are now tuned in to Everything Boxing. There you go talking that boxing again. I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. Before we get into this next video, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that like button and don't be no hater. Now, before I get into this next video, I want to say this. I see a lot of y'all watching these videos, but y'all won't take a split second out to hit that like button. Hit the like button so more people get the boxing news that they need to see and hear. It only takes a split second to go ahead and hit that like button. Don't be no hater. Hit that like button. I ain't asking for much. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into Dana White on this video. Recently, Dana White came out and did an interview on Sirius XM Fight Nation. And in the interview, Dana White talked about how he's ready to come in and impact boxing in a hard way with his Zuffa boxing. Okay, so Dana White, he about to come into boxing, and he said a lot. He talked about how he wants to run it like he does the UFC. How he wants to basically, surpass all of the governing bodies and shake up the whole system in boxing as we know it today. This is what Dana White had to say. He says, well, I'll tell you this. I met with literally everybody in the sport, minus Bob Arum, minus Oscar De La Hoya. To my shock, everybody is willing to work together. Everybody's interested. Now, it don't surprise me that he's not messing with Bob Arum or Oscar De La Hoya due to the fact that he's come out publicly and he hasn't had anything good to say about either one of these guys, and especially Oscar De La Hoya. Him and Oscar De La Hoya, they have a true hatred for each other, and they've been going at it for years, and they still been going at it recently. Now, he says, I'm not acting like I know everything. I'm the guy who's gonna save boxing. I don't know shit, okay? But what I do know is that the system, the model is broken and it needs to be fixed. It needs to be flipped the way you actually start investing money into the sport the way that we did with the MMA. Not just the UFC, the sport of MMA. Then we start getting into politics. That's where it all gets screwed up. There's enough money out there for everybody. He also goes on and speaks about the belts in boxing, on how it could possibly work with all the greed in the climate at present. White added, everybody knows what needs to be fixed. The way you get around it is bypass them. I don't recognize the WBC, the WBO, the IBF, the IBO, and the WBA. Shit, that's ridiculous, all these alphabet belts they got. Now, he says, the UFC belt is sanctioned by nobody. You know why the belt is credible? Because the best keeps fighting the best. And that's true. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. As long as that happens, any belt is credible. So what do? Is I go out and I hire a guy that starts this month. And I'm gonna sit down with him. We're gonna start working and to figure this out. Everybody's so used to playing their own sandbox and isn't willing to work together. I think I can do it. He says, I think I can get it done, and we'll soon find out. Now they ask him, does it mean completely scrapping all the belts? And White's reply was, yeah, listen, we all know everybody involved in the sport and everybody that loves the sport knows what's wrong. Who's got the balls to go out and fix it? So I'm gonna give it a shot. Yes, I recognize them. Or he says, yes, I don't recognize them, the organizations. So he's talking about he gonna go in boxing and he wants to get it done to where he don't have to recognize any of those organizations. All of those alphabet belts, none of those sanctioning bodies. You got one belt, one man, and one name in every weight class. Whoever the best, you got to go out and beat the best to get that belt. And that's some real talk. I love his idea. It's an idea that's been talked about for years, but has never been done. I mean, boxing has been around for over 100 years, and if Dana White think he's gonna be able to step in the sport and change all of that, if you ask me, I highly doubt it. I would love to see it, because then that means for us, the fans, the best really gonna have to fight the best. And that's one thing I can say about the UFC. It ain't no running, it ain't no ducking, it ain't no hiding in the UFC. You either fight the best or you get back in line. You don't get no shine, and he'll kick you out of the organization. You go over to somewhere else and fight. And that's just how it's ran. That's why you always see the best fight the best. If somebody got the belt in the UFC, they got a line of hungry lions waiting to take that belt. And that's one thing you ain't ever got to worry about in the UFC, is not getting the fights that you want to see. Because you're going to get the fights that you want to see in the UFC. Because Dana White, he going to make it happen. It's always been that way, and it's always going to be that way. As far as boxing, the reason I don't think he's going to be able to, get that done and change the face of boxing how we see it now, it's just for the simple fact it's too many politics in boxing, too many faces to go through. It's just too much stuff to go through in boxing, too many people to get through to change the sport. The sport of boxing has been corrupt for years. It will remain that way until even, change 60% of that. It's going to take 20 years if you ask me. But, Dana White, he got a lot of money. He got a lot of knowledge in the sport of combat sport, and we'll see what he get done. We'll see what he does. I'm looking forward to it. And until then, like I said, hit that like button for me. And you know what it is. Until next time, I'm out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And if you ain't already did it, make sure you hit that like button before you leave the building, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. And just remember, anything ain't everything, but around here, everything boxing.